What is going on, everyone? Nostalgia 925 coming at you with yet another explaining Digimon episode. In this video we're going to get back to Patamon, a Digimon that we already explored. But instead of analyzing its basic Digivolution line, we're going to take a look at its armored forms, which are many. Now, before analyzing those different forms, let me first mention those who asked for this video. Eddie Chewing, Blue Granny, Francis O. Sech, Michael Chandler, Daya Pitaloka, Ryan McManamy, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. All of you, a big thank you for contributing. I really appreciate your support and your precious comments. There is yet another YouTuber that asked for an explaining Patamon Armor Digivolution line video, and it's kind of a special comment. Nonterasto Otsaretnon wrote the following. Hi Nostalgia 925. After you did the Vmon and Womon Armor Evolutions, why not make a Patamon Armor Evolution video? He is, as you know, sort of holy. I wonder what he digivolves into. Greetings from Germany. P.S. Today is my birthday. I'm serious. Maybe that will get my wish granted. I really cannot refuse such a request, especially when it was a birthday wish, so let us explore the Patamon Armor Digivolution line. Patamon does have several Armor Digivolutions that really should be explored. We are going to do that step by first explaining the Digimon Egg before analyzing the armored forms. The first egg is a Digi-Egg of Courage. Most of the Digivolutions which occur through this egg have something to do with fire or dinosaurs. And when Patamon uses it, it will armor digivolve into Baromon, a wizard Digimon. The name Baromon derives from Barong, which is a panther-like creature and character in the Balinese mythology of Bali, in Indonesia. In case you guys are new, I have started a new series called Explaining Mythology. In that series, I take Digimon to yet another step by analyzing those mythological creatures that inspired Digimon creatures. I will certainly make a video talking about Barong. Baromon, aside of being a wizard Digimon, it is also a guardian deity that protects the ruins of a temple in the Forgotten Jungle. And speaking of Forgotten Jungle, I once played Digimon World 3, which is a game on the PS1. There is a temple called the Protocol Ruins, an ancient temple that you can only access once you've passed a forest. Oh, and this is by the way a gameplay footage of a YouTuber called GODDARKENLESS, who is in fact my brother. I'll place a link towards his channel in the description. Please say hi to him and say that Nostalgia 925 sent you. I just love toying with him. But anyway, in that very old temple ruins called the Protocol Ruins, you can encounter Baromon, which really explains its description. You are most likely to see the Digimon in an ancient temple. As you explore that temple, you can fight another Digimon that once boasted absolute power in the ancient digital world, a Digimon with a huge history. But we will have to discuss this Digimon and the ancient digital world in separate videos. It is said that Baromon is a survivor of all generation Digimon and has several abilities of a lost technology not found in current Digimon. While it is very impressive already, there is one quote that will blow your mind. As you see, the Digimon has a third eye, so let me quote what is being said about that third eye. It is said that this eye is able to forecast the future, and it is told that it, meaning Baromon, was able to survive even at the time of the ancient digital world's collapse. I believe that I really will have to analyze the different periods in Digimon history and the different places, because it is more than clear that a lot happened already, and I only get fragments of the story, depending on the Digimon I analyze. But I can already imagine that a great amount of Digimon already perished before what I presume would be the current era. And yet in another video I mentioned a certain godlike entity called Yggdrasil that wiped out the vast majority of the Digimon with the X program. Only a few Digimon survived and they fled to a new digital world. Oh, and speaking of the new digital world, let me read a comment of a nice man named Randy Brown. Sorry if this is a dumb question, but are Armor Digimon on the same strength level as Champion? Well, it is certainly not a dumb one. This is what the sources tell us. An Armor Digimon's power is similar to that of a Champion's. However, after Yggdrasil wiped out a good percentage of Digimon, Armor level Digimon also changed to become Champion level. This would mean that those Armor level Digimon that survived Yggdrasil's X program are not considered at Armor but instead at Champion level. I take a note that I certainly will have to explain to all of you the consequences of the X program, because a lot happened aside of Digimon being destroyed. Something else happened. Something that involves a certain split in the digital world, making 3 terminals that are named after Norse mythology. but we'll get there. The next Digi-Egg is the one of friendship. Most of the Digivolutions which occur through this egg have something to do with ice, lightning or mammals. When Patamon uses the egg, it will digivolve into Stegomon, a dinosaur Digimon. To be precise, the Stegosaurus, a beautiful dinosaur, one that I actually always confused with the Ankylosaurus, yet another beautiful dinosaur with a huge stone at the end of its tail, which reminds me of a particular Digimon. Stegomon has countless blades on its back. These blades are for performing counterattacks, while at the same time for defending itself from the enemy's attacks. These blades are able to move in the desired direction at Stegomon's volition. While you may think that the Digimon is one who is already offensive, it mostly repels attacking Digimon with its blades and with the spikes on its tail. The next Digi-Egg is the one of love. Most of the Digivolutions which occur through this egg have something to do with winged creatures or an Egyptian motif. When Patamon uses the egg, it will armor digivolve into Pipismon, a mutant Digimon. Its name comes from Pipistrellus abramus, which is simply a Japanese house bat. It is said that this Digimon was born of a certain electrical equipment manufacturer's ultrasonic sensor. Its large ears are able to capture sounds of any frequency. The inside of its mouth has the structure of a speaker, allowing it to copy the sound it captures with its ears as it is and release it. Like a bat, it specializes in operating at night and is able to accurately detect the enemy's position by using ultrasound. I think that it is a very fascinating aspect, as it is able to do well at night, and as you know, at the moment the night is at your side, you have a huge chance of surviving a possible encounter. You see, just because I have always loved studying animals, I would like to let you hear the call of a microbat. But just for your information, you have to know that those sounds range in frequency from 1000 to well over 100,000 Hz. Considering that the typical human hearing range is considered to be from 20 Hz to 20,000, we won't always be able to hear the sound. Anyway, here you have 10 seconds of a recorded microbat's call. A strange sound, isn't it? Oh, and just in case, who do you guys think would come out stronger between Golbat from Pokemon and Pipismon? After all, they are both bats and use the same kind of techniques. Maybe I should make a separate video about it. The next Digi-Egg is the one of purity. Most Digivolutions which occur through this egg have a relation to plants and Japanese culture, such as leaf ninjas or flower kabuki players. When Patamon uses the egg, it will armor digivolve into Ponchomon, a ghost Digimon. The name Ponchomon comes from a poncho, which is a blanket or an outer garment designed to keep the body warm. Ponchomon is said to be a Digimon that was generated from a Latin music distribution program that exists on the network. When looking at the Digimon, it looks as though it has a cheerful personality, but its facial expression cannot be read. All of its actions are performed with a Latin rhythm, and those that cannot keep up with the beat will be seen as enemies. There is a rather dark rumor about this Digimon. I know that by its appearance you would think that it is a Togemon, the Digimon that we've discussed in the Palmo Digivolution line video. Well, although the Digimon is classified as a ghost type, it is an unusual Digimon that also appears to be a plant type, and because of it, it is rumored that when a Togemon has died due to unforeseen circumstances, it will become a Ponchomon. Pretty dark. Oh, and Ponchomon seems to get along with Bakemon, a Digimon with a huge and a very dark Digivolution line that we will certainly analyze in another video. The next Digi-Egg is the one of knowledge. Most Digivolutions which occur through this egg have something to do with insects. When Patamon uses the egg, it will digivolve into Mothmon, an insectoid Digimon derived from the moth. Mothmon is a mythical Digimon that appeared during a large Kunemon outbreak. Something got many Kunemon go wild and berserk. I still need to know exactly what happened. All I can say is that Honeybeemon, the armored Digivolution of Veemon, Butterflymon, the armored Digivolution of Gadamon, and Flybeemon, the armored Digivolution of Hawkmon, were all there during the outbreak, even if we don't know exactly whether Mothmon was with the tree or against. Because in the end, the Digimon has a rough temperament. It possesses aggressive habits. The phosphorus power stored in its wings contains the ingredients for gunpowder, and there are occasions when it showers the power to intimidate the enemy. I got a little bit curious. Mothmon can shoot bullets from its gun, it can sprinkle burning powder all over multiple targets, it can absorb the energy of enemy Digimon, and can flap its wings very fast, and a lot of poison dust come out of its wings that can paralyze its enemies. Is there a moth Pokemon that could rivalize Mothmon? Is there really one that can compete or even defeat Mothmon? Let me know in the comment section. The next egg is the one of reliability. The Digimon using the egg will be able to demonstrate its true power underwater. When Patamon uses it, it will digivolve into Manta-Raymon, a Digimon based on the Manta birostris, a beautiful aquatic animal that you can only find in warm temperature, subtropical and tropical waters. Based on its appearance, it looks like an offensive speed type Digimon, but actually it is the opposite. Manta-Raymon is a Digimon with a calm disposition that elegantly swims in the vast net ocean. But don't let its elegance fool you. It is difficult to capture it on radar because of its unique figure. That is why it is called the stealth of the deep. There is, however, a sad story about this Digimon. It is treated as an underwater bomber among those who abuse it. That is why the Digimon is threatened with extinction because of overfishing. The next egg we're going to discuss is the one of hope. Most of the Digivolutions which occur through this egg have something to do with constellations or ungulates. When Patamon uses it, it will digivolve into Pegasusmon, an animal Digimon deriving from the Pegasus, a mythical winged divine stallion and one of the most recognized creatures in Greek mythology, one that we will certainly discuss in the mythological conversations. It is interesting, not much is written or even known about Pegasusmon, aside that it has the attribute of holy. However, I'd like to read the comment of Andres Marrero, written in the Nostalgia 925 community page. He says the following: Pegasusmon seems to be the actual natural Digivolution for Patamon, not Angemon. Just like how Nefertimon seems to be the actual natural Digivolution for Gatomon. Maybe because they are ancient Digimon that their natural Digivolutions are through the armors. You see, I find it a very interesting comment, as I thought the same. Pegasusmon has the colors and the wings of Patamon, which only makes it more logic that it would be the natural champion form. Same goes with Gatomon and Nefertimon. Both Digimon share similarities which can only make them related. From what I know, Gatomon and Patamon are, to be more specific, descendants of ancient species Digimon. Digimon that existed in the genesis of the digital world. In other words, in the ancient digital world. And in that period, things were quite different, may it be geographically or something else. To give you a quick example, in the ancient digital world you had, for example, ancient Greymon. I know I already discussed the Digimon, but I am far from done, as there are some pieces of information that are deliberately hid from you. Anyway, ancient Greymon is known to be a mega level who existed only in the distant past, which means that in the current era, you will not see it. This shows change in the way Digimon evolved through time. Back in the ancient digital world, some Digimon had to use the eggs, which are ancient artifacts that were developed in that period, in order to digivolve, as it was almost impossible to even jump to the champion level without assistance. And as Andres Marrero has said so well, maybe because they are ancient Digimon that their natural Digivolutions are through the armors. Considering that digivolving in a champion was so difficult, close to impossible, it might indeed have been that their natural Digivolutions were indeed through the armors, simply because it might have looked impossible to digivolve in a champion Digimon. One thing is sure, after the collapse of the ancient Digimon world and after the rebirth of what I have to call the era before the X program was launched, things changed drastically. Geographically, new forms of Digimon, new forms of Digivolution. I think that this change somehow explains Pegasusmon, even if we are only theorizing. And I think that this change also explains why we won't see Ancient Greymon or the other 10 legendary warriors anymore. Something probably stopped it, sort of like a data erasure. However, luckily, the 10 legendary warriors did leave the Digimon world with their powers, which we will also take a look at in a next video, because I think I may know the first Digimon who inherited said powers. The next Digi-Egg to explore is the Digi-Egg of Light. Most of the Digivolutions which occur through this egg have something to do with mythological creatures or fish. When Patamon uses it, it will armor digivolve into Mambomon, a mutant Digimon, a Digimon derived from the ocean sunfish. It is a rare Digimon that is seldom seen. It usually moves about while going with the current near the surface, but once in a fight it can move at astonishing speed with the propeller on its tail fin. There is something interesting about Manbomon. You see, the patterns on the surface of its body, it has a particular meaning, even if we do not exactly know what it might mean. These patterns are also different for each individual, so the truth is much more uncertain. And I have to say that I love uncertainties, as it triggers my, I guess, scientific brain to explore these uncertainties. And there is actually one uncertainty that might blow your mind. Here is a quote concerning Manbomon. It is a precious species that produces antibodies against computer viruses within its body. When I read the quote, I was a bit confused and curious. If Manbomon produces antibodies against computer viruses within its body, does that mean that every Digimon has certain chances of developing naturally computer viruses that might destroy their body in the long run? I got extra curious. I went digging deeper in the digital world to study the computer viruses in that context. It is said that a computer virus is simply a malicious code capable of corrupting computer systems or destroying data. This means that a Digimon affected by a virus might become a corrupted one, even though there are more than one way to corrupt a Digimon. A computer virus can also destroy a Digimon. Now, here's what's interesting. Computer viruses are utilized by hackers, and these hackers will have to be discussed in another video because even they have a huge history. Computer viruses are utilized by Digimon, maybe in the form of an attack or by the usage of a particular program. And to finish, a computer virus can be used by Appmon. And I was shocked because I never really heard of Appmon before, so I went digging even deeper. Appmon is short for Apply Monster, digital life forms similar to Digimon but are related to smartphone apps. There are many of them. These Digimon aren't even graded the same way as the Digimon we know. The most known grades are Rookie, Champion, Ultimate and Mega, while the Apply Monsters have the following: Standard, Super, Ultimate and God. Again, we will have to explore these creatures in another video. I just want to tell you that I dug even deeper. Applymon have an ally called Virusmon, yet another Apply monster. In fact, Virusmon are an army of Appmon whose purpose is to spread the L virus. What is the L virus, you might ask? It is yet another computer bug-like virus created by Leviathan, a super artificial intelligence that lurks in the dark web. Its aim is to control the real world by spreading the L virus and turning all humans into Appmon chips. I think I am saying a little bit too much. Let me go back and keep this story for another video. Manbomon is a Digimon that produces antibody against computer viruses, which means it would be able to resist either the L virus or even a possibility to be corrupted by any kind of viruses. This only shows that there is more to the Digimon than meets the eye. The next egg we are going to discuss is the Egg of Kindness. Most of the Digivolutions which occur through this egg are variations of small animals. When Patamon uses the egg, it will digivolve into Prairiemon, an animal Digimon deriving from the prairie dog. It is a Digimon that spends its time burrowing in dry land and is able to dig underground at a speed of 100 km/h using the large claws on both of its arms. It has a nature of behaving in colonies and rarely ever appears on the surface because of its timid personality. However, it might be that you encounter a group of Prairiemon sunbathing on fine days with calm weather. That might in fact be the only time you will encounter one. To finish, Patamon can use two eggs to armor Digivolve in the same Digimon. I am talking about the Egg of Miracles, which enable those using it to overcome challenges through the miraculous power, and the Egg of Destiny, which links the user to gold. When Patamon uses either of them, it will Digivolve into Rhinomon, a mammal Digimon deriving from the rhinoceros, one of my favorite animals. Rhinomon is clad in armor made of chrome digizoid, a refined metal in the digital world. And speaking of this metal, it is derived from the Huanglong ore, a scarce virtual ore that can only be found underground. Only one Digimon is known to have unified with this ore, Huanglongmon, one of the Digimon Sovereign. Rhinomon's armor, which is clearly not stronger than the one of Huanglongmon, is still so powerful that it cannot be destroyed even by laser-based attacks, let alone physical attacks, due to its surface becoming reflective while at the same time becoming bulky armor. It moves its body by using excess power, that is why it is able to travel quickly to the point of being abnormal, contrary to its build. It has an attack called Ein Sof Aur. It is a term from Kabbalah, which is a school of thought in Judaism. Ein Sof means unending or infinity, which kind of explains that when Rhinomon is charging towards an enemy, it is near impossible to stop it. There is one thing that intrigued me. You see, Rhinomon is a Digimon that came to be with the Egg of Miracles, and it is true it shows miraculous power. However, its allegiance, well, it is a partner of the Bagra army, an army serving Lord Bagra, who seeks the Code Crown in order to conquer the digital world and initiate something called D5 to rule all of existence. There are really many threats in the digital world. This is the end of the video, my good friends. I really hope you enjoyed it. I would love to read a particular comment before bringing the video to a close. The Tiki wrote the following in the Explaining Patamon Digivolution live video. I am new and I absolutely love your videos, but in so many of your videos you say, I'll cover in another video. Can we have a video or maybe a couple of videos in which you go back to older videos and cover the topics you weren't able to cover? I believe that Tiki is more than right. It would maybe be wiser if we take a little break with the requests and go back to the older videos to cover the topics that I mentioned and didn't cover it. This would also be a great opportunity for us to study these mythological creatures that inspired certain Digimon. I mean, after all, I already talked about the Yamata no Orochi, which was the first episode. Now we might take our time to take a look at pixies, werewolves and angels or devils and more of those. One thing is sure, I can guarantee it is going to be fun, so please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. In this channel, I will do my very best to give Digimon the attention it always deserved. It is up to us to revive the series and let it work in its fullest potential. So I'll work on it, and do not forget to check out the description box for certain recommended videos. And of course, for the channel of my little brother who helped me with this video, do not forget to express yourselves in the comment section, as I always end up using your comments to make these videos much bigger. You guys are contributing a lot and I totally love it. And just in case you guys are new, all my Digimon videos are placed in the Digimon playlist, which is always updated, that way you can catch up on newer and older videos.